Jordan Crooks. My name is Janae Powery Whitaker, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Before we begin, I would like to invite Pastor Joseph Haylock for the opening prayer.
Good evening, everybody. You know, before I pray, I just wanted to say that I think it's so fitting how history is written when our motto is, He hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. And our first world champion is a champion of the water. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for this monumentous occasion, dear Lord. Thank you, dear Lord, the creator of the universe, the creator of the seas, and the establisher on the floods. Dear Lord, we thank you for allowing Mr. Crooks to achieve this wonderful feat, dear Lord. Continue to work on him, dear Lord. Help him, dear Lord, as he carries our country on his shoulders right now, dear Lord. As he is doing a wonderful thing, dear Lord, help him. Continue to keep him humble, dear Lord, that he may achieve his full potential, dear Lord. Bless him, dear Lord. And dear Lord, help us to always support him, dear Lord, in his physical feats, dear Lord. Continue to work on him, dear Lord. But dear Lord, continue to work on our country as well, dear Lord. Bless each and every one of us here, dear Lord. May we always keep you first. And bless this rest this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. God bless you all.
Before we continue, for any of you who may need the bathroom, please note that the town hall is open, but as you go, it's to the left on the corridor. Next up, I would like to welcome Ms. Melissa Worms, the Acting Deputy Chief Officer of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
His Excellency, the Governor, Mr. Martin Roper, Premier, Honorable G. Wayne Panton, Deputy Premier, Honorable Chris Saunders, Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, Honorable Bernie Bush, Minister for Health, Wellness, and Home Affairs, Honorable Sabrina Turner, Parliamentary Secretary, Mr. Isaac Rankin, Acting Chief Officer for the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, Ms. Joan Westakers, Chief Officers, Heads of Departments, other government officials, Chairman of the Board of SIASA, Mr. Stephen Broadbelt, distinguished guest, Jordan Crooks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening. It is my distinct pleasure, on behalf of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, in my capacity as Acting Deputy Chief Officer for Youth and Sports, to have you join me at this reception to honor our World 50-meter freestyle champion, Jordan Crooks. Tonight's celebration is more than a gold medal achieved. It is about discipline. It is about believing in yourself to achieve what has never been done before. It is about overcoming obstacles and making the sacrifices necessary to fulfill a dream. Jordan, your dream is now a reality. You are the world champion, and we are so very proud of you. You have brought the gold home and given us a unique ability to continue to build national pride and bring our community together through sports. Look around you. You did that. Normally, world champions are those that we see on television, ones that we do not know or will ever meet. But with much Caymanian pride, I can say we now have a world champion, one that is very much real and one of us. We congratulate you, Jordan, on your historic achievement. The eyes of the world are upon you. Continue to shine bright, and we will continue to support and cheer you on. To your sister Jillian, we see you. Continue to make big waves. With your persistence and determination, you will succeed in accomplishing your goals. Thank you.
Up next, we have the Honorable Minister Bernie Bush, MP and Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Good evening. Protocol having been established. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in welcoming our first ever world champion in the Cayman Islands, 50-meter freestyle gold medal winner Jordan Crooks. This 20-year-old Caymanian made history with his amazing race last Saturday at the 16th FINA World Swimming Championships in Melbourne, Australia, winning with a time of 20.46. We are here this evening to congratulate Jordan Crooks not only on this historic achievement for the Cayman Islands, but on his endless dedication to the sport. Jordan swam a time of 20:36 in the prelims, breaking the Cayman Islands national record by over a second, becoming the 5th fastest all-time swimmer in the 50-meter freestyle worldwide. We then watched the semifinals with Crooks boasting an astonishing 20:31 and tying for the 4th overall on the all-time performers list. Just 15/100ths shy of the world record. 15/100ths. We have seen your progress from the early years swimming locally to regional and international meets, including Carifta and the Youth Olympics. Since going to college, Jordan has been a part of the legendary Tennessee swim team and is a rising star in NCAA swimming, becoming a force to be reckoned with globally. Jordan, your dedication, determination, and skills have shaped you into the phenomenal swimmer that is with us today. You have written yourself into the history books, talented, hardworking, with an unshakable faith in God and your family. We look forward to seeing you reach even greater heights. Jordan, you have set many records over the past years, many in this past season alone, but we will always remember the record set on December the 17th, 2022, when you became the first Caymanian to achieve such a milestone. World champion, and I repeat it, world champion. Get used to it. They can't take that away from you ever. Your return home for the holidays gives us the welcome opportunity of formally recognizing you. We are honored that we're able to celebrate your stellar performance with you in person. We appreciate that you have only a few days left before returning to resume your studies at the University of Tennessee, but we could not let this moment go unmarked. In recognizing your accomplishments, we must also thank your support team over the years, your parents, your mother Faith, and your father Jimmy. They have been steadfast in their commitment to your success, just like Faith has always been steadfast in her connection with God. The first day I walked into my office and sat down as the minister, my first call was to Frankie Flowers Sr. And I said to Frankie, I know swimming is going to put us on the map first, I need you to work with me with all the connections you have. A few hours later, I got a call, and that call was from Faith. She did not ask for nothing for Jordan or for her daughter. She asked, Minister, please put a pool in every district. She says, especially your district of West Bay, there's a lot of talent down there. Please put a pool in every district. Try to find the money. But we had to deal with pandemic, so. But there's a story about Faith, and people will understand why a lot of people keep mentioning Faith when they talk about Jordan. I was a soccer father. I know what it is. I know what soccer moms, swim moms, and what I know what it is to go through that. Driving them there, flying them here, saving money to be able to go this place. I've been there. But I was given a story by Dr. Joe Marzuka. Joe and the Crooks had their children together. I would not call the name of the place on the 7-mile stretch. And they had them in the program. And they were the only locals there or whatever. And Joe said they treated us so bad we left. I never took my children back. He says, not Faith. Faith was bent that her children were going to swim, and she took them to the next program. That's determination. You remember that, I hope? Okay. From as far back as George's mother can remember, water has been a part of this island boy's life. It was they who introduced you to swimming as a toddler, and they who later took you for formal swimming lessons while you were a student at Grace Christian Academy. Their love was shown in investment of time and money they made to help you realize your dreams. They took you to daily early morning pool sessions and made sure that you and your sister Jillian were at local, burner, and overseas meets. The life of a competitive swimmer is hard, and Miss Faith, the driving force in Jordan's pre-college swim career, also shouldered that duty. His sister Jillian, who is his biggest cheerleader, but probably also his biggest competition in and out of the pool, has always stood behind him. Your extended family, swim parents, coaches, and friends who have been behind you on this journey are all to be applauded. Thanks must also go out to the Lions Club of Grand Cayman for years back when they built the Lions Pool, which paved the way for this sport, and where Jordan began his swimming legacy. Also, the staff, which comes under our ministry, who've ran the pool all these years. Thanks must go to them as well. Just like how you had that little story about Faith, just to tell you where swimming has come from. The President, Secretary General that will be speaking representing the Olympic Committee, Mr. Carson Ebanks. I was the acting director of sports. And we found that the individual who was in charge of the pool was doing little underhanded stuff that the local children were not getting into the pool. I went in, made some rules, and he got a top police superintendent to go to the governor decision I had made. He was the permanent secretary, and he went with me when the governor called me in. I'll never forget one thing Carson said. When the governor said, oh, but we all pay taxes, he said, yes, Governor, but we've been paying for 40 years. You've only paid for 4. And the Lions Pool, after that, some of the changes were made. CIASA has made strides, but there are still strides that CIASA has to make. And they are working on it, I can tell you that. My first speech after being a minister, I told this country, the PAC government supported me and backed me that we were going to finally build a 50-meter Olympic pool that they've been talking about for 30 years. They helped me, they found some money, and it's in the budget there. We're waiting on CIASA, and we were supposed to actually meet this morning, but the flight was delayed, and this was all planned before my man said his history. So we have been in dialogue on the 50-meter pool for the Cayman Islands for some time, and this ministry has committed funds to start this process and is working to achieve this goal with additional funds in the upcoming budget cycle. Recognition also, thank you, goes to the Cayman Bay Aquatic Club and the CBAC who helped to mold you as a competitive swimmer. It is a sign of the strength of those relationships that you are still in touch with CBAC to this day. Last but not least, thank you to the Cayman Islands Aquatic Sports Association. As the local governing body of swimming in the Cayman, CIASA coordinates many aspects of competitive swimming locally and manages national representation at the regional and international meets. A special thanks also goes to CIASA's technical director, Jackie Pellerin, for all, and Jackie, if I messed up your name, please forgive me, Bonjour. Please forgive me. All his assistance during the short time here. In wrapping up, it would be remiss of me. We also have another world champion in our midst, another young man. And from the very beginning, I said I need role models, people at the top. In his chosen field, some say it's not a sport. I will argue forever on that. But we have Robert Thompson Jr. Please stand, young man. Another has the same, he's very similar to this young man in that he's humble. The sport that he's in is the drug-free bodybuilding. In other words, there are no drugs allowed. He just left here, went to California, and won the World Championship. 2 years, a little time, he won the Amateur World Championships. Now he's in the pro category. Robert, like I said, the country didn't know, I myself didn't know. We're going to make this country know who you are and what you are about. Respect. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. And his father also is another case of parents being there with his son all the step along the way and funding it out of their own pocket. And it's not cheap. This is certainly a proud time for us as Caymanians. And what a perfect gift for the season. Most people don't know, your father is a 6th-degree black belt, Jordan. Jimmy has been here a long time, and he's always peaceful, quiet, and he and Faith were a pair made in heaven, because with her Christianity and his peacefulness, you and your daughter had to be peaceful, fearful people, even though I understand that your sister's the rough one, so that's okay. Jills, we were expecting you right behind to come and bring us some more medals or some more championships. You have no idea how proud you have made us. God go with you. The nation stands behind you. God bless.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Apologies. Up next, I would like to welcome the Honorable Premier Wayne Panton.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very grateful that protocol has been established. I see so many wonderful citizens gathered here this afternoon. What are we all here for? I want you to point at the reason we are here. And I want you then to stand and cheer with us. Congratulations to Jordan, our world champion, in whom we are incredibly proud. Minister Bush has said so much about how proud we are as a country, and I can tell you how proud we are as a government as well. I remember last year, he, in one of his discussions, sometimes people call it rants, where he's talking about his aspirations for sports in our country and what it can do for our people, and what can be achieved. I remember him saying that swimming was going to bring us our first significant medals and even a world championship. I remember him saying that, and I am so proud of his energy that he brings to this. And you can see, I think all of you saw the emotion that he reflects, the pride that he reflects in being able to stand here this afternoon and speak the truth about an amazing young Caymanian and what he has achieved as our world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bush didn't choose Hero Square by accident. It's because he knows that you are a hero to our people and to our young people in particular. Swimming is one of those sports, of course, that is very subjective. Sorry, there's no subjectivity. You just have to put maximum effort in. And your performance, the result, is a result of your efforts. But I think Minister Bush also recognized very appropriately that as much as it is the individual's efforts, as much as it is some, let's be honest, some good genetics, it is more about the effort of you, the individual, and the parents or people around you who are supporting you. Because without them, without your family, without your wonderful mother and your wonderful father, you probably wouldn't be able to achieve what you have achieved. So the applause, as much as it goes to you, Jordan, it goes to them as well. Because we need, as much as we need great role models like you, we also need great role models like your parents as well. And I can't tell you how much we all feel and love the kind of support it takes for our young people, our children, to be able to achieve what you have achieved. And it is what is the integral part of my motto of community builds country. Because it starts with the families, it starts in the communities, and we build stronger countries as a result. So, you have done an amazing job. You know, I think you've probably had about 10 years of disciplined commitment to this. And that is another example for our young people who need to find role models, who need to have those role models who they can look up to achieve what you have achieved as Cayman's world champion. Whether it's sports, or whether it's education, or whether it's something else. Young man, you are a phenomenal example of drive and commitment. And you are a wonderful example for our young people. So thank you very, very much. We truly, truly appreciate what you have achieved and the kind of example that you can set. Ladies and gentlemen, in recognition of Jordan's achievement, the government is going to set up a savings account, a share savings account, and for Jordan, and fund it the amount of $25,000. We will have more details on that later. I'm talking to you and to your parents. That, we feel, is the only way for us to really, truly reflect the value of your achievement and the effort that you have put in, because we recognize the commitment that it takes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate Jordan, our champion. And I wish I could dance and sing the song, but I'm going to do a little thing anyway. What is he? He is our champion, champion, champion. We love you, Jordan. We are immensely proud of you. And I hope I've done justice to your achievement, who you are as a Caymanian, and how we think of you. God bless you, young man, and we will continue to support you in your efforts. We look forward to your sister being able to be here with us on another occasion. Maybe she'll be a world champion too. But we also look forward to all the young Caymanian children who can look at both of you as incredible role models as to what they can achieve. So God bless you, and God bless these Cayman Islands. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Premier. And I think I have my nerves in check now. So up next, we have Mr. Carson Ebanks, the Secretary General of the Olympic Committee.
Good evening, everyone. Thank God protocol has been established. I would not have to repeat all those salutations. But I will say, it's so good to see all of us here celebrating Jordan's phenomenal World Championship. So let us just pause for a moment and reflect on the enormity of this outstanding accomplishment by a phenomenal young Caymanian. The world has a population of approximately 8 billion people. A young and very talented Jordan Crooks from the Cayman Islands, with a population of approximately 70,000, bravely faced the best swimmers in the world and outswam them all, bar none. The 17th of December, 2022, a day for us all to remember, a day for the history books to record, the day when the amazing Jordan Crooks became a world swimming champion, a world champion. The magnificent distance runner from the 1970s and 1980s, Tanzania's Filbert Bayi, just recently put out a book called Catch Me If You Can. He revolutionized middle distance running by running from the front. Jordan swims like Bayi runs, from the front and doesn't ease up. Filbert Bayi wrote, I have identified 3 values that sustain me when I lost and when I won: confidence, commitment, and sacrifice for the greater good. I know that Philbert Bailly lives by these values. He had 2 world records, an Olympic and Commonwealth medals. I know too that Jordan also lives by these values, and he lives by them every day as well. The playwright, author, poet, and social activist Langston Hughes, in his poem entitled Dreams, tells us, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow." Jordan, thank you for showing us that dreams do come true. Thank you. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Carson. Up next, we have Mr. Stephen Broadbell from the Cayman Islands Amateur Swimming Association.
Thank you. With protocol observed, Christmas came early for the Cayman Islands, but this gift was not given. This gift was earned by Jordan. I will remember exactly where I was when he hit that wall in 20 seconds and 43.43. I will remember that in 10 years from now, in 20 years from now. I know exactly where I was sitting. I was in Jamaica at a swim meet in a hotel room at dark 30 in the morning. And I'll never forget that moment and the amount of pride that I felt, and the whole team, the junior team that was over there. It was just the vibe throughout just lifted everybody. So thank you for that, Jordan. I'm going to talk about a little history on this journey, this 10-year journey of Jordan's that most people I know would have quit. His development path, he made Carifta team 5 times. And the first 4 times, he didn't make an individual medal. But each time, from 2014, he kept going back. Then he'd make finals, and just incremental every year. Then he'd get a relay medal, but not until his last year at Carifta did he score his medals. So a lot of swimmers that I've worked with, you just see them, they just don't have the same determination. And I've already used your story this weekend at this meet in Jamaica to speak to other parents of the swimmers and say, don't give up. Look how long it took Jordan to get where he did. Look what he did, and follow his path. Lots of other, he represented the Cayman Islands, say at Carifta at 5 different times, and then one of those years, he didn't make the team, but he didn't give up. He kept on going. He went to CCCAN, which includes Central America, which is an extremely fast meet, the Youth Olympic Games in 2018 in Argentina, and then he represented Cayman at the Island Games in Gibraltar as well. So he's represented the country in over, close to, I think, 13 different events and counting. COVID-19 robbed a lot of athletes, including Jordan, for example, of his last time out at Carifta. He didn't have his final event, that's a junior meet, and at age 17, age out of it. So, and then from there on, after Carifta, as the protocol started to ease up, he represented Cayman at the Pan Am Junior Games. And then, most recently, in the summer of this year, at the World Championships in Budapest, long course. By the end of the season, by the end of the year, I'll have you all fully briefed on swim language, what short course, long course, DQ, IM, you name it. You'll have the full appendix, like a proper swim parent would. So, this does not have to be a one-off, and it won't be a one-off. This is just the beginning. Despite the odds, Jordan, beat them on skill, hard work, and then just his racecraft. Imagine the pressure on the blocks, ready to go, and they're measuring reaction times in hundredths of a second. The pressure on Jordan was incredible, but he held up to it and proved what he could do. He's a role model, he's an inspiration, but through God he is very humble, and in a way that is his stealth. And as Coach Jackie said, the French team calls Jordan the Destroyer. For most swimmers in the Cayman Islands that swim competitively, it is not an after-school sport, it's not an after-school activity. It is a journey becoming a student athlete. And what that brings, the scholarship opportunities, and also the circle of friends and the people that are in swimming. And I'm sure it's the same in other sports, but these swimmers form very tight bonds with each other. They say it's an individual sport, but your teammates around you are just as important. And it teaches you lessons throughout the rest of your life. There's a massive commitment from the parents. As the Premier had said, at 5 a.m., multiple times a week, late at night, it's not, the results do not come quickly, and it is easy to give up. I'd encourage any swimmers that are here this evening, if you're finding it hard, it's okay, that's how it's supposed to be. That means you're making progress. The support from the parents, again, it would not have happened without the supports from his mom and dad, and then with his sister by his side as well. But Minister Burney and the Ministry of Sports, in these last couple of years, their support and their drive has been, very, very strong and hard push that we are going to do this, we are going to make this happen, we are going to put Cayman swimming on the map. When we were at Carifta earlier this year at Easter, multiple teams would come up, their managers would come up to me and say, what are you doing in Cayman? What's happened? What's changed since COVID? How are you coming back so strong? And that's our little secret. We're not going to tell the other teams that. So thank you to the Minister Burney and his team. We couldn't have done this without you. Thank you. His local club is always, I'm sure Jordan's heart will always be with his local club here with CBAC and the support you've had from the international meets from CIASA. The Olympic Committee should also be strongly recognized. The support and their drive to support swimming as well has been fantastic over these, since COVID, and looking forward to next season in 2023. It's going to be a busy year, Jordan. The volunteers can't have you all the time. And then his coaches locally throughout his whole path of development over the last 10 years, and then also his coaches at Tennessee at his university in the States. They've all made a significant contribution, and they always will. The thing about the Cayman Islands, we have some of the best coaches in the world in swimming, and people do not realize this. And you can go to any of the top 10 big countries, and you're not going to find the same level of coaches. You won't have access to that. We really are very, very fortunate here, and that's a great foundation for us to build all of our youth and develop our youth in swimming. I'd also like to recognize the support that we've received from a lot of the sponsors that contribute. The Ministry of Sports is the largest supporter through their grant program, but also the Flowers Group, Maples, KPMG, Foster's, CUC, Butterfield Flow, and Fraser Properties all support swimming in the Cayman Islands. And then, of course, the people of the Cayman Islands. Thank you. Swimming is at a turning point in Cayman, not only as we're seeing it on the ground here, but as other countries around the region are seeing the depth of our teams and the abilities of swimmers like Jordan. The size of swimming participation has quadrupled in the last 20 years, possibly much higher than that. We are now ranked, according to FINA, first in the region. So in the Caribbean, Cayman Islands is number 1. And we rank 3rd in the Americas, only behind USA and Canada. And from these World Championships, we rank 11th in the world. The only 10 above us are these large nations, USA and countries like that. No one else comes close. The aquatic center, the 50-meter pool, or the aquatic center as a whole, has been finalized, and we're working through all the final details with the ministry. We expect to have that shared publicly very, very soon. But the whole design side of it is done, and we're just working through some final details. So we're extremely happy about that, and we couldn't have done it without the support from the Cayman Islands government. Thank you. This will not only open up more lane time for our swimmers, no waiting lists for Learn to Swim, but also sports tourism is a key part. When you travel to these big events like the ones that Jordan just came from and Gillian in Melbourne, Australia, the size of the crowds, that's a very good tourism industry. They all stay in hotels, they all have transportation, they all eat a lot of food. It provides a lot of income for those towns or small countries when events would be hosted here. So a lot of international events and training camps. We've already got a long list of colleges in the US that want to come down to the Cayman Islands to do swimming training camps in the winter. Can't imagine why. But they're not going to do it unless we have a 50-meter pool. So beyond that, swimming is not just about competing. It's a way of life. It's about the community and swimming as just something that Caymanians do. Not just for the youth, swimming opportunities with our new facility for seniors and just for general wellness. A lot of the therapeutic applications of swimming for seniors has also a lot of benefits. So it's more than just about racing. It's about swimming as a community activity. An aquatic center has been a hub of that community where people can come and swim in a very safe environment that's controlled. So as it says on our crest, he hath founded upon the seas. Let Jordan lead the way to the future of Cayman swimming. More firsts are in store with open water swimming and also with artistic swimming. We have a big international event planned in March next year for open water swimming, and artistic or synchronized swimming, as it's also known, is growing in leaps and bounds in the Cayman Islands. So there are lots of different disciplines to attract whatever your individual swimmers are interested in. But again, congratulations again to Jordan, world champion, gold medalist, fastest man on the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen. Now up next is our honoree of this evening, Mr. Jordan Crooks.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, I won't keep you guys too long, but I just want to give a special thanks to my parents, my family. I would not have been able to do any of this without them. I appreciate them more than they could possibly ever imagine. A special thanks also to a coach that I had when I was younger. His name was Caleb Miller. He stopped me from wanting to quit the sport at a young age, and is one of the few reasons that I ended up in this position, and I'm so grateful to him. I would do anything for that man. I appreciate him more than you could possibly ever imagine. I also want to give a special thanks to the Westerberg family. They supported me through the entire journey, even on days when I didn't believe in myself and that I would be able to, pursue the swimming the way I wanted to. They never doubted me. They were always there, always supporting me, giving me positive messages, and I appreciate them for that. I'd like to give them special thanks. Thank you, everyone, and also thank you to Cayman. Cayman is a special place. I've told many people overseas that I wouldn't have wanted to grow up anywhere else. I am very grateful for the opportunity that it's given me, and I appreciate every last one of you. Thank you. Thank you.
We can be louder than that. Let's give him one more. Thank you, Jordan. And from one young Caymani to the next, I'm very proud of you. Okay. Up next, I would like to re-invite to the stage the Honorable Premier and the Honorable Minister Bernie Bush to present Jordan with a congratulatory gift.
Hold on. Lost it. Okay. Hi. What the Premier is handing over to Jordan tonight is a piece of our home. It is an award made from Caymanite, and it signifies your accomplishments. It has your name, it has your event, it has the time and the date that this historic event took place. So from our hearts to yours.
The president of Digicel is not on the island, and when you got 40 pins in your leg, it takes you a long time to go through TSA, as you know how that can be. You've traveled enough. But Miss Diane sent this to me and says, look, please tell the young man this is a gift. Wishes you well on behalf of the Digicel family, and it's the latest phone. So.
Jordan, stand up. Can you stand in the middle of the two of you? Stand in the middle.
This is the before and after.
Ladies and gentlemen, most of my staff was on vacation. They arrived in from last week, Friday, and they've been working all over the weekend trying to make this evening happen. The young lady who you see emceeing is one of our interns. She's also a former youth parliamentarian. And I hope whoever's saying the thank you will call June, Ventisha, Melissa, Tanisha. Ladies and gentlemen, they have slaved some wicked hours. And June is one of those mothers that takes her daughter to swimming at 5 o'clock in the morning too.
Thank you, Minister. Good Good evening. I would like to thank everyone for joining us this evening for this very momentous occasion. Thank you to the Honorable Premier and Minister Bush for your support and inspiring words, but mostly for the support of Jordan and all of our athletes. To the Secretary General of the Olympic Committee and the President of the Swim Association, your unwavering support to the sport of swimming is appreciated beyond words. Jordan, there is little more to say other than congratulations again. We look forward to what lies ahead. Thank you to our production team, our food vendors, but mostly, thank you to each and every one of you for joining us tonight. We hope that this is one of many celebrations for our athletes to come. We do have so many out there who are going to follow the footsteps of Jordan and make us all proud. A special thank you to our ministry team, our DCO, Ms. Joan Westakers, our acting DCO, Ms. Melissa Worms, our policy analyst, Ms. Tanissa Barnes, our intern, Janae Whitaker. Thank you, ladies, for putting this all together. And as I close, I say, we wish you a Merry Christmas with your family, both near and far. Please enjoy the Christmas season and have a healthy, happy, and prosperous New Year. Thank you.
Before everyone gets going, we now have a meet, greet, and signing with Mr. Jordan Crooks. It will be to the left here for anyone who would like to say congrats to our world champion and to wish him well in his future endeavors.